Shall we begin?
This is Live Speak with your hosts Justin Gilson and Alan Kwon from thedigitalcraft.com. We're bringing you tech news, Kickstarter investment strategies, and anything else we feel like we need to discuss with you. Stick around, it's going to be a great show
On Live Speak Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to Live Speak Radio. I am Justin. As always, I'm here with, well, not always. We have a guest co-host with us today, and he's becoming more and more like a regular co-host because Alan's not here. We have John Rainey with us here today. John, how's it going?
Good, Justin. Not bad. I nearly called you Alan there.
You almost did. That's all right. I almost called you Alan as well. I don't know. How are things on your end of the world?
Good. A little bit stiff after all the golf today, but I'm sitting down, I'm comfortable, I've got my Pepsi, and I'm happy.
That's good. Yeah, John and his Pepsi. I forgot about that.
That's funny. I don't go.
I think some people in the listening will probably be mad that you went out golfing and you're complaining about it. That's all right, though. At least you had some fun.
Yeah.
Did you, you told me earlier that it was windy and kind of ruined your day, though. Yeah,
it was kind of frustrating, all right, but these are the things you have to put up with to get out of the house.
Yes, that's very true. It gets really boring just kind of hanging around doing nothing, like me.
Yeah, well, especially when I said spend most of my day sitting at a desk, you need to get up and get out, get moving around.
Mm-hmm. That's very
because
true.
Going from the desk to bed isn't good,
No, not at all. So do you guys have anything, right now here where I live, we have a fair going on. It's the Clark County Fair. It's like a big carnival. Today's the last day. Do you have something like that over where you live, like a giant carnival with rides and games?
Yeah, we do actually. At the moment, we have Sligo Summer Festival on here. It's running last night and the night before. It's actually finished now, but there was carnival rides, and actually our previous guest here on Tabby was playing last night on it.
Tabby Callahan?
Tabby Callahan. He flew back from the UK. He was gigging in the UK and he came back especially for it last night. So apparently it was a big success.
Wow, that's cool.
Huge crowds at it. So.
Oh, I'm sure. I like Tab. I like his music. I've been listening to it here, and we have it on the show. And someday we might have to have him back on the show.
Yeah. He's a good guy, I have to say.
But yeah, I mean, like over here at the fair it's supposed to be a fun thing, and I talk about this with people all the time. It's supposed to be a fun family type thing, and it turns out that it's just for money. I mean, if there's a family of 4 or 6, if you have 2 parents and 4 kids, it's going to cost you over $200 just to go to the fair, and where it's supposed to be about family and having fun, but it's all about money. They have wristbands where you can ride rides all day, and on the weekends they're $30 per kid, which is crazy. Wow. So there you go. If you have 4 kids, that's $120 right there just to ride rides.
That's Disneyland money.
It's right. Just go to Disneyland. You make a good point.
Well, everything in our festival over this side was free anyways. Free open air concerts and
that's how it used to
fun
be.
Fair. Yeah, that's the way it should be. You won't attract people in if you're going to try and take money off them. Get them to spend it locally, like.
And what I don't get either is I was looking at the sponsorship list for the fair because I was looking for coupons or any kind of discounts for friends that were going, and practically every business in this area is sponsoring this event. So why does it cost anything? Is what
exactly.
It shouldn't cost a single penny, but it does.
Somebody's making money.
Lots of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's happening over here. So that's good to know. I didn't know if you had the same sort of thing over there or not, but
yeah, well, it's been sponsored over here as well, but it seems that the sponsorship is kind of covering any kind of fees. Wow. Because as I said, everything was free. There was 2 open air concerts Friday night and Saturday night, and both were packed. And there was a fun fair as well, not too far from where the show was being held, and it was free as well. And actually, I was passing up there this morning, and they have a huge Ferris wheel.
Huge Ferris wheels. I used to love Ferris wheels.
I look at them, that's it. I don't go any further.
I'm terrified of heights, but for some reason, like on a Ferris wheel, I can handle it. I'm not a huge fan of heights, but I can handle it.
No, I'm afraid of heights too, and I'm 6'4", and I'm afraid of heights. Huh? Did you ever hear anything like it?
Yeah, that's weird. Well, we have a great show today. We have a guest on here later on. We'll be having him on the show. His name's Patrick Swieskowski. He is the co-creator of Ninite.com. It's a software, an online software service where you can download a bunch of different software into one installer package. And I've used it for work. John, you said you've used it recently too. I
did, yeah. I used it yesterday. Just kind of give it a run through and see it. It's pretty good, I have to say.
It's really nice.
Yeah,
just
it's useful.
Take like 10 different software programs and bring it into one installer, and then you just click it and walk away, and it just does it all for you. It downloads all the programs, installs them, whatever. Yeah,
and it's very handy if you're restoring a computer, as we were saying earlier on.
Yes.
You can, whatever software you're using, you can just put it into one package, and it's just a simple one install. It saves a lot of time a lot of routing for the individual programs as well on the internet. So.
Yeah, and if you're a beginner and you just format your computer, and like I do this all the time, so I can go in and find all this stuff and download it on my own. But if you need to go and get Adobe Flash and Java and Chrome and Firefox, you don't know where to go to get all that stuff as a new person to your computer. If you can just go to this one website, go through their selection list and hit download and be done. That's
amazing. It's actually very hard, especially with the likes of Flash. You can type in download Flash and you can end up anywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
So you need to be careful what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you could end up downloading some pretty dodgy stuff.
That's so true. That is so true.
So at least this is a one-stop shop. You go into, you download everything in one package, and you have it as an installer. You can put it onto a CD or a flash drive or whatever it is. It is good, definitely.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we'll have him on the show. The other co-creator couldn't be with us, Sasha Cousins. He's not going to be here, but Patrick he'll be here in a little while. We'll get him on the phone and talk to him about his creation and how he came up with it and whatnot. But for right now, let's run to a quick commercial break and pay some bills, and we'll be right back here on LiveSpeak Radio.
Stop. Everyone listen to me. You're spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time taking your computer to the Geek Squad. If you want your computer to run better, here is the secret. Do it yourself. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but I promise you it's not. With proper guidance, you can get your computer running like brand new again. See for yourself. Sign up for computer repair for beginners and experts alike today. It's only $9. That's it. Even if you don't think your computer needs a tune-up, this course is designed to help prevent future problems from happening. If someone told you that you could prevent your car from breaking down, would you take advantage of it? Of course you would. So why neglect your computer, especially for only $9? And every review has been a perfect 5-star rating that speaks for itself. With a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, what do you have to lose? Head over to www.geekcreations.com and click online courses to get started today. Save yourself a headache. Fix it in one day so you can get back to using your computer again. Go now. www.geekcreations.com. That's GEEKREATIONS.com and click online courses. Time is wasting. Go now. You're listening to LiveSpeak Radio with Justin and Alan. Justin and Alan. Follow LiveSpeak Radio on Spreaker, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and more. And tune in every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time for the latest tech news, advice, projects of the day, and outrageous stories that will make you say, what the? Now heard on Spreaker.com and IndianaTalk.com. Always read and follow label directions. Now back to the show.
Welcome back, everybody, to LiveSpeak Radio. Again, I'm here with John Rainey, our guest co-host / listener / everything for the show. You seem to do everything. You write our notes and things lately, and look up, do research, and you're co-hosting. You want to just take over?
No, I'll take a backseat. I like to do the stuff in the background. It's fun. It's amazing the stuff you come across while you're doing it too.
Yes, that's very true. Well, we do have some really cool tech news that you found, and I wanted to start off with one of the first ones because I thought it was really cool. Was the Android, because now Android controls a breathtaking 80% of the smartphone market. We're talking smartphone market now. A lot of people know that they actually control about 80% of the internet browser market over Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Safari. But for the smartphone market, they now control 79.3% of the global smartphone market, which is up, 69.1% from a year ago.
It just shows the growth in the mobile phone market.
Yeah, it's huge. And we're not just talking the U.S. This is global. And they say that Apple, meanwhile, only has 13.2% of the market, which is down 16.6% over a year ago. Which is crazy to me because you hear Apple all the time, and there's people fighting so hard for Apple. And if somebody has an Apple, they say that your Android phone is terrible and vice versa. But the numbers show, I mean, Android is really controlling it. Because Apple has one device. That's it. You know, when you
and as well as that, most Android phones are they wouldn't be as expensive as an Apple phone. So
right, exactly. And there's the Apple iPhone, and that's it. And the iPad, you know, and Android has Samsung, LG, you name it. Everybody has Android, so of course they're going to be up there. But
now this new cheap iPhone that's coming out might make a difference.
Is that real?
Well, it's supposed to be. There's talk of it.
The little 5S, I think it's called, or something. I don't know. I've heard that it's not real, but I can't find anything saying otherwise. Because Apple, of course, they won't confirm or deny it. But
no, but it wouldn't be a bad move, like to have a budget phone.
Not
because
at all.
I think it would take some of the market share back. I'm sure.
Yeah,
they need something to compete.
It's just like with cars. The cars have like 3 different brands. They have their low end model, your mid model, and then your luxury version.
Yeah.
Why not do the same thing with your cell phone market and let people that can't afford it at least have the iPhone, but don't give them Siri or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, limit what programs you're going to have on it. Exactly, yeah.
I think that would be a smart move. But, I mean, in terms of the unit growth, Apple was up 20% on a year-over-year basis, while Android has been up 73.5%, which is huge. And, of course, the funny thing is Google's search business, it's not even as dominant as the Android market. It's not even close. In the U.S., which is one of course, Google's strongest markets, Google search only had 67% of the market. So their search thing isn't their number one thing anymore, which I think a lot of people realize and knew.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
Well, I think the figures they're talking about, even the amount of users on Chrome, I think that's great, because the less people use an Internet Explorer in my business, the better. Because it means I don't have to, in the web design business, you have to design specifically for Internet Explorer on a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Because Internet Explorer doesn't support some of the features that Google Chrome does and Firefox does. So, that's good news. That's music to my ears, the fact that they're up to 80% in the browsers.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I actually, my boss told me that the other day. Jason, he told me that they were up to 80% because he's a web developer. So he actually had to switch from using certain developer tools, like in Firefox's Firebug. He was using that, but then he thought, well, since Chrome is so big, you kind of have to adapt and start using things for Chrome and building things for Chrome, because why build a website that's going to work in Internet Explorer at 13% of the market when 80% is using Chrome? What's the point of that? So you got to do things that will work.
The thing is, you're building a website for cross-browser compatibility. You're building one website for Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and then you're building a second website for Internet Explorer.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's crazy,
Yeah, and Microsoft can't figure that out. They just will not let go of Internet Explorer. They keep adding things. And, I mean, like the recent Internet Explorer, and we may be on a tangent here, but I don't care. The new Internet Explorer there's like 5 compatibility modes. It's stupid.
Yeah.
If you're on a website, you click compatibility, it doesn't work. Then you hit compatibility 2, it doesn't work. Then you try 3, and then 4. It's wow. Just who's going to do that? I always put, I think of my mother, and like if she's on a computer, is she going to know to go up and hit compatibility mode 5 times? She just needs it to work.
Well, the only thing I'd use that compatibility mode on Internet Explorer for is, say, someone who might be using an older version of IE, say they're using IE 6 or something. Mm-hmm. So you have that option under the developer tools to go back and look and see how a website looks under IE 6.
Right.
So that's kind of the only way I would use it. But, I prefer not have to do it at all.
Right.
So, as long as that 80% keeps rising, I'll be quite happy.
Yeah, I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon. I really don't.
No.
But that's Google. They're always up there doing something.
Yeah.
Now, what is this other story? Do you want to tell this story? You put this on here, and it's a South Korea guy that actually, this is the electric cars.
Yeah, it's a city in South Korea who have basically they've electrified a stretch of road. What they've done is they've buried cables under the ground, and the city is called Gumi in South Korea. It's electrified 15 miles of road, and it works by transmitting electricity through cables about a foot below the surface of the road, and by running power through the cables at a specific frequency, an electromagnetic field is generated, and a coil underneath the car interacts with this field and generates a current, charging the car's batteries.
Oh man,
now that is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We have electric cars here in Ireland at the moment. I think the maximum range on them is about 100 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to sit overnight then and charge it. It's not, it's not practical.
No,
so I think, if this takes off, which it seems to be working on, and they're saying it wouldn't be a big issue to actually modify the roads, because you wouldn't need to cover the whole. You'd only need to cover, say, 5 to 15% of the actual road, according to the story here,
right? Because
over that 5 to 15%, you're charging your car up, and the rest of it, you'd actually be using the battery. So by the time you came up to the next stretch of road, you'd probably still have plenty of charge in your battery.
And what they could do, I just thought of this, what they could do is they could, instead of having like a carpool lane, they could actually have, or they could make the carpool lanes like they have here, charging lanes, so if you need to charge, you hop over in this lane, you drive for a while, and you charge your car.
Yeah.
And then you can get out. That way you don't have to do all 4 lanes of the traffic if it's a big freeway or whatever. You just make it a little portion of it, Or an exit. You take this exit to charge your car or something, and it just goes out and around for a little while and comes back. There's a lot of applications.
I think that's something that need to watch. I'd say that's going to be quite big.
Yeah, I think so too. I actually, a long time ago, had an idea, and I'm going to tell people this because I don't really care. It was an invention idea that I had of having magnetically driven cars, where you would have somehow have magnets under the car on the sides in front of the car, and then the roads would be reverse magnetic, so the car would hover basically because of the reverse magnetics, and then there would be no accidents, there'd be no crashes, because you can't crash into anything because you're just going to bounce around.
Yeah.
But if it was electromagnetics like this, you could actually have auto drive, and you could put in your path, and it would just shove you down the road, and it'd be frictionless. So
we're getting very Back to the Future here.
It's creepy, right?
Yeah.
But that was an idea I had, and this is kind of going along the same way. So if they get these installed, maybe I'll start building a prototype and make millions of dollars. I don't know.
And like what they're saying here, logistically, it wouldn't cost a lot of money to set up. That's what they're saying, is only 5 to 15% of the road would have to be electrified.
Yeah, that's not a lot. I mean, and it's not like they have to dig the whole road up. I'm sure that they can just cut into the road, put these coils in there.
Yeah.
And there's machines that'll do that sort of stuff.
And as well as that, because the fact that electric cars are so heavy now and it costs so much to buy, you're talking probably an extra 3,000 or 4,000 just to pay for the battery alone. You don't need as big a battery with this now because you're charging it as you go. So in turn, that should reduce the price of the electric cars.
Yeah. That's very true. Wow. I hope this happens and gets really, really big.
But you want to make sure you're in an area where you've got a good power supply. You don't want to be somewhere where there's power cuts the whole time.
No. That would be terrible.
Be a lot of angry motorists.
Yes, it would be. Now, here's the other thing, I've talked about this, and I don't know if I talked with you about it or not, but the security flaw that Google has, and actually my boss pointed this out the other day too. He randomly found this, that Chrome gives people easy access to your passwords now. And it's been there for a little while, but Google Chrome's browser has this flaw that gives users easy access to see your saved passwords on the web. Now you can do it on your own computer and actually check this out. You can go to Google Chrome, and in the address bar type Chrome://settings/passwords. And if you hover over one of the passwords and single click on it and click the show button, there's your password. So it only happens, of course, when you save a password and you tell Chrome, yes, save this password, which me personally, I don't save a lot of my passwords. It's usually, I take the extra 9 seconds or so to type in my password every time. But I don't like saving my passwords for that very reason, because they're stored somewhere. And if it's stored somewhere, it can be accessed somehow.
Well, see, I do it now, I have to say. I do store my passwords, and I thought this was freaky when I found it the other day. You know, to basically go through and the full list of all those websites that you access are there as well.
Right.
And the passwords for them.
This is in Firefox as well. Because I've noticed this in Firefox in tools and then options. If you go in there to saved passwords, you can click a button that says show passwords, and it'll show the website and then the password to it, and the username, I think. So yeah, it's been on there in Firefox before because it's got to go somewhere and get saved, and then you have to be able to retrieve it somehow as the user. But they say that in Chrome it only happens when you're logged into Chrome through a Google Chrome account. So if you're syncing all your stuff, basically it'll be in there. But if you hand your computers to somebody to fix it and you're logged into it, that's the thing. Or somebody hops on your computer, that they're gonna just go and grab all your passwords for your bank, for everything they want. Now, hopefully your own friends won't do that, but there are probably some people that that might just use your laptop or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Or if you're even on a work computer, which people do personal things at work, and you log into stuff on a work computer that's being used by multiple people. It's just risky. You just have to be very careful with your passwords and know that your passwords aren't secure. And even if you think they're being hidden, somebody can find it some way. So just know that you can change your password and change it regularly. That's pretty smart. Yeah. And don't save your passwords to Chrome. No. And I'm gonna have to start doing that. That's the risky thing with that. See, I save my password in Firefox because I don't sync my Firefox everywhere I go. Now, Google Chrome, everything you do in life is connected to Google, it seems like anymore. So, so now if you save it in there, then you have that chance of somebody finding it. Now, Google says, of course, they're not going to change anything. Justin Shu, who's the head of Chrome security team, says that the only real way to keep your Chrome account safe is to never give anyone you don't trust access to your account. And like you said, like there's situations where people could get on your computer that you don't trust. Yeah, of course. That's weird to me that they would say that. We're not going to do anything. It's on you. It's your responsibility. Now, they say the easiest solution to the problem is a master password that you punch in before getting access to your saved passwords, of course. And Google says that it does not want to do that because it thinks it's just giving people a false sense of security. Yeah. I guess I could see that. A false sense of security, though. I mean, it's like putting in a password to get to a password, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I think it's become apparent in recent weeks or a couple of months that nothing you do is safe on the internet anyway. So absolutely. I think, don't leave any information about yourself on your personal computer. No. Certainly not your passwords. And, I'm going to have to get out of the habit, too. I do it for a lot of the websites that I would have worked on, just for easy access rather than having to remember passwords and stuff. I'd save them, but I think I'm going to have to get out of that habit. Yeah, it's a hard one to break because it's very convenient, to save passwords. And like I said, I do save mine. I'll take that back. It's not like I never save my passwords anywhere, but if I'm somewhere like at work, I don't save a lot of my passwords. Unless it's for work. If it's a work email, I save it there because they're going to get it anyway, or they can have the access to reset it. So, but if I do anything personal at work, like on my breaks or whatnot, I don't save any of that stuff. I'm not going to save my Facebook login if I get on Facebook or nothing like that. Why would I do that? Yeah. Well, you see, my work PC is my home PC as well. So, so everything is on it, Yeah. So I'm just going to have to start deleting stuff and just start writing. Well, I have a filing cabinet that I can keep stuff in security anyway. So. Oh yeah, there you go. Well, let's run to a quick commercial break here, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more tech news. So we will be right back here on Live Speak Radio.
Need a do-it-yourself with your website? Let the gurus at thedigitalcraft.com teach you how to build, design, and maintain your website at an affordable price. They offer private training on web programming, graphic and web design, video production, motion graphics, and expert consulting. Book your session today on Facebook at facebook.com/thedigitcraft and check out free tutorials at youtube.com/thedigitcraft or take our courses on udemy.com. Thedigitalcraft.com, your web and design guru. Bruce. Attention singers and musicians. Are you on YouTube promoting your music but not getting the results you deserve? Need more views? Need to stand out from the crowd? No matter where you're at, our course, 25 Steps to Rock Your YouTube Views, will show you how to maximize the views on your cover video in 1 week without paying a cent. This book will guide you step by step how to increase your presence on YouTube, plus 25 video tutorials with our ebook and unlimited support to answer all your questions. If you're willing to invest your time in your career, commit to learning by video, this course is for you. And it's all for $27. Plus a 30-day money-back guarantee and lifetime access with no limits. Be one of the first 50 people to sign up and get 30% off. Sign up today on udemy.com and get the course 25 Steps to Rock Your YouTube Views. The great way to maximize the views on your cover video for 1 week without paying a cent. Sign up now.
Okay, nerds, let's go!
Now back to Live Speak Radio with Justin the Geek.
Welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak Radio. We were talking before the break about Google security, and I just remind everybody again to be careful with your passwords and whatnot. I want to let everybody know, if you don't know, there's a chat window in the bottom right of your screen here. If you're listening on Spreaker.com, of course, there's a chat window in the bottom right, and you can chat with us, with John and I, and the other listeners as well. We are also broadcasting, as usual, on IndianaTalks.com. They've been nice enough to let us broadcast simultaneously on their network as well. So I always want to thank Indiana Talks for letting us do that. Now, on to another tech news story. We'll get through some of these tech news, and then we'll get to our guests here in a minute. But some of these I wanted to talk about, like I think you brought this one up to me. I'll let you actually tell us about this PayPal story that you brought up. It's PayPal rolls out photo verification trial. There's a high street trial started in the UK. They started using a payment system that recognizes customers by their first name and their picture via a mobile application. Retailers in Richmond upon Thames are among the first to allow shoppers to leave their wallets at home and pay for items using just their PayPal app and their profile picture. Alan's going to like that because he's always talking about how there's a store down the road from him. It's called the General Store, where you can buy literally anything you want there. They just kind of mash everything together there, and he can use his PayPal there. But it's one of the very, very few places that lets him use his PayPal. So I know it's a different story with the photo verification, but it seems like with this, it's going to give people kind of an excuse to use it in different places because they were afraid of the security.
Yeah, and it's saying that the app is for the iOS, the Windows operating system, and Android phones, and it highlights nearby shops and restaurants that accept PayPal before the customer checks in by clicking on the required retailer and sliding an animated pin down on the screen. So the phone will even tell you what shops are in the area that are actually accepting it.
Yeah, and then it checks you into that business. So then your name and your photo would appear on their payment system, and that way they can charge you by just clicking on your image. So you basically sync up with their system, their PayPal system. That's what it sounds like.
And you get your receipt via email as well.
Oh, the typical PayPals, you email receipts.
And it's only been rolled out. As I said, it's a pilot scheme. It's been tested on 12 merchants in this area in Richmond. But it's saying that they expect more than 2,000 locations will have the ability to use the app by the end of 2013.
Wow.
So, that's in 4 months.
By the end of this year? That's awesome.
By the end of this year.
I'll have to keep an eye on that one because that's my Udemy money. Everything for my course on Udemy, my computer repair course, that's only $29 if you want to go take it now. Is my money. I had to plug that. I'm sorry.
That's a shameless plug.
I have no shame. No shame at all. No, but my money from that I get goes into PayPal, and it's kind of like my savings bank. It just goes in there and collects because I can't spend it anywhere. Yeah. Unless I spend it online, and I do use some of that for radio stuff. But that'd be nice to be able to go to a place and use my PayPal money on things. But it may be bad. I might spend all my money that way. But hey, at least they're attempting it. So 2,000 places, that'll be really nice. I wonder where there's going to be a list or what the app name is going to be, so I can find that eventually and find places.
Well, I suppose seeing is the fact that your phone will be able to tell you what stores are using it.
Yeah.
they probably won't need to advertise it too much. But I don't know if that's 2,000 places. I'd say that's just the UK
Oh,
for the time being.
probably, yeah.
Because it's a UK pilot scheme. So, but I'm sure by the end of 2013, if they have 2,000 locations in the UK, I'm sure it'll be spread to the rest of the world.
Well, yeah, that's what we do best in the U.S. We see somebody else doing something good and we steal it.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad to say, but we adapt that and we're like, oh, that's a good idea. We'll make it, even bigger and try and make it better or something. But yeah, that's us. Now, we were talking about Apple, and a couple weeks ago, the lady that died when she was talking on her phone had her Apple phone plugged in using a generic Apple charger, and Apple's actually offering charger trade-in because of safety fears, and they're unveiling this global program to replace counterfeit USB power adapters. Of course, after that lady, the Chinese woman, was electrocuted, and they've unveiled the worldwide program to replace third-party and counterfeit USB power adapters at a cheaper price. The technology giant Apple, of course, has said consumers can buy an authentic USB adapter for around $10. And, I mean, it's not a huge discount. They are normally cost about $19 or $20. But now you can make sure to get a real one because the generic counterfeit ones are around $10. So why not just buy a real one for $10?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying, which is good. And I don't know how to say this name, but I'm going to try it anyway. Aylin, I don't know. She was 23. She's the one that collapsed and died in China last month after answering an iPhone when it was charging. And the Apple said that recent reports have suggested that some counterfeit and third-party adapters may not be designed properly and can result in safety issues. This is, of course, after this happened. While not all third-party adapters have an issue, we are announcing a USB power adapter take-back program to enable customers to acquire properly designed adapters. Customer safety is a top priority at Apple. Now, most people are blaming Apple for this. This wasn't Apple's problem. It was an adapter that somebody bought. Like here, you can go and buy these adapters at gas stations and stuff. And they're cheap. They're really cheap. And that's what people are going for because they can't afford a $20 adapter to charge your phone. So they're buying a $5 or $10 one. So they say that more than 4 million counterfeit goods were seized coming into the UK alone last year. And one of the top fakes was, of course, phone chargers because they're easy to replicate. They say anyone who wants to take up the offer will have to provide the serial number of their iPhone, iPad, or iPod and hand over their USB chargers. So you're trading, basically. You can't just go and get it for $10. You got to trade in your crappy one, which that makes no sense, though. If I pay $10 for my crappy one and I have to trade with them, I got to pay another $10 to them to get a real one. So I'm paying $20 for only one when I could pay $20 for two.
Yeah.
That's weird, but whatever. It keeps me from dying. That's fine.
Well, I know Apple, they have a track record of kind of guarding their design specifications fairly closely.
Oh, yeah.
And I can see their point about the chargers because, I'm sure Apple don't give out the exact power that's required to charge a phone. I'm sure it's probably they can get a ballpark figure, but, Apple make products for Apple.
Yep.
Because even before when you had an app, and I'm sure it's still the same if you had a Mac, they even had certain screws that could only be opened by certain tools.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
But no, I like, it's a little bit on the steep side. They're going in the right direction and their heart's in the right place, but I think they should probably reduce the fee or the cost down a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, maybe if they start doing the budget phones or whatever and things like that, maybe they'll start reducing the prices. And I see where Apple is such a high quality thing where they hate to drop down and do a budget version of anything because they're known for such high quality, top notch products. But there comes a point where you're losing the market. You got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's Apple have a history for that too, of losing the market.
Yeah.
It happened after Steve Jobs left Apple before. So.
Yeah, that's very true.
I think they need all the help they can get. Yeah,
they really do. Now, we were talking earlier about password security, and there's a story here about email security. And this is the guys that invented encrypted email say, of course, that email can never be safe from NSA snooping. This guy's Silent Circle, it's a company founded by Internet Hall of famer Phil Zimmerman. He's a famous privacy expert. John Callis and a couple of Navy SEALs has shut down their secure email service. They said that they shut down their service because email can't be secured in a way that would prevent government agency like the NSA from snooping. They say that all email messages, quote unquote, leak metadata. They say anyway. That information includes data about who you are talking to and where you are, and that info is visible even if the message is encrypted, which makes sense. You can encrypt the message all you want, but there's still trail off and information that comes off of those emails that can be grabbed by NSA if they want to. So email as we know it today is fundamentally broken from a privacy perspective. That's what John Callis says. And it's a pretty strong statement coming from John Callis. Now, Zimmerman and Callis were the creators and founders of Pretty Good Privacy in the 1990s. PGP was one of the first technologies to encrypt email to prevent spying. So they know what they're talking about. That's what they do. And if they're saying that they're shutting down their service because, the NSA will get it no matter what, that's creeps me out. That's, I'm the whole NSA thing I could go on for hours about. But last year, apparently, they launched a new service, Silent Circle, that encrypts mobile phone calls, video calls, and texts, which is a pretty good service if you are afraid of being spied on. Since smartphones also handle email, Silent Circle was encrypting email at the time, but now they're finding, of course, that they're pulling the plug on the email portion of the service, and the company says that it has not been asked to add a backdoor to turn over any emails. It's just closing preemptively before anything gets out of hand, before they're responsible for giving away data.
I think that should have lots of flags being raised.
Yes,
because if there's a company coming out and saying that the email isn't safe, there's obviously something going on. Like, I know all the news recently there with the data, especially on your side of the water. It's not too bad on our side, but
right.
the NSA, as I said, the NSA snooping.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a company come out that supposedly encrypts emails that are saying that it's not safe, there's obviously something more to it.
Exactly. Now, if you want to see, what someone can learn about you by looking simply at your email metadata, there's a tool called Immersion. It'll show you what people can see. It was created by a team at the MIT Media Lab. So just go Google Immersion email tool, and I'll put the link in the show notes afterwards as well. But try that out, and you can actually see what people can get out of your email and find out information about you. It's kind of creepy.
That's a bit scary, all right.
It really is. Now, this last story, I'm going to let you talk about this one because you told me and you've actually tried this out. So,
what I did was it's basically that the controversial torrent site, the Pirate Bay, has released its own web browser. And it's plenty of notable or controversial sites like Wikipedia and Pirate Bay are censored in various capacities in some countries around the world. Here in Ireland, we have no access to the Pirate Bay, and the likes of Iran and places like that where they're censored as well, wouldn't have access. So what the Pirate Bay have done is they've released a web browser, which allows people who are in countries with restricted access to access the Pirate Bay. And what it's done is it's built on the Firefox browser. And when I seen this news article yesterday, I downloaded the browser just to see, because I can't access the Pirate Bay in Ireland here. Mm-hmm. And when I loaded it up, it was able to go in no problem.
So you could get to that sort of thing, and so it becomes unblocked. Does that mean that it blocks you from everything and nobody can see what you're doing?
Oh, no, it doesn't make you anonymous. That's one of the things it does say, that it's simply a mechanism to maintain access to the entire uncensored internet.
Okay, so basically it opens the internet back up for you, but they can see that you're doing that. Yeah, they're handing you a tool, but they're basically telling you that, use it wisely. Right. They're not going to be responsible for how you use it, basically. No, not at all. Exactly. But what they're saying is Pirate Browser comes bundled with the Tor browser, a separate tool that's very effective at anonymizing you. I have heard of that. And the announcement, I actually hadn't heard of it up until yesterday, but it seems like it's a separate application that's built into it. Yeah, it's kind of like an add-on, I call it. But, it does help with anonymizing you. It will help block your IP address and things like that and what you're downloading. Yeah. Yeah, it'll actually tell you, too, what IPs are trying to access your computer as well, if you get into the data of that too. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
And there was an announcement on the Pirate Bay website that says, do you know any people who can't access the Pirate Bay or other torrent sites because they're blocked? Recommend Pirate Browser to them. It's a simple one-click browser that circumvents censorship and blockades and makes the site instantly available and accessible. No bundled adware, toolbars, or other crap. Just a pre-configured Firefox browser. A nice present to the Pirate Bay and our users on this day, our 10th year birthday.
Wow. Now, we're not, just for everybody that's listening, we're not condoning the Pirate Bay. And
absolutely not.
By any means. But the fact that somebody has to go and create something to give you access to a service that is open, and we're talking like the government is stopping you over there from looking at things like this. They should have no part in that. You know, they shouldn't be able to censor you from looking at anything.
I think if it was policed better, like, fair enough, leave the access to it, but anybody who's blatantly stealing stuff, there should be,
exactly,
harsher punishments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's not like you can just keep blocking everybody from every website you think is bad. It's you got to monitor them, and you got to police them, and then make consequences for what happens.
Exactly. Exactly. But I think that's the problem, is they can't police it.
That's true. That's very true.
So that's the Pirate.
Yeah, that's the Pirate browser. That's really cool. If anything, the Tor browser is worth getting because, nowadays with the NSA, you can anonymize yourself pretty well. There's a lot of things out there you can use to block yourself a little bit and be a little more cautious about what you do. But that's tech news for the day. Those are some good tech news stories. I appreciate that, John.
No problem.
So what we're going to do now, we'll go to a quick song break, and this is actually Tabby Callahan, a former guest on the show, and it's the song called Manic Star, which we played before. I love this song. So we'll play this song, and we'll come back, and we'll have on the show with us the co-creator of Ninite, Patrick Swieskowski. So we'll be right back here on Live Speak Radio.
I'm so frustrated.
to Live Speak Radio with Justin the Geek.
Welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak Radio. As always, I'm here with John Rainey from Ireland. We were talking about earlier having somebody on the show from the co-creator of Ninite. And again, for those that didn't hear it earlier, Ninite's a service that lets users install popular Windows applications automatically. It allows users to make a selection from a list of applications and bundles them into a single installer package. And currently, there's two versions for the service. There's Windows and Linux, and it's free for personal use, which is amazing. And then there's a paid version, which I just found out about like 4 days ago, called Ninite Pro, and that's available for business use in networks and things like that. And the co-creator, Sasha Cousins, couldn't be with us today, but with us, the other co-creator, Patrick Swieskowski, is with us. How's it going, Patrick?
Oh, great. Great. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for coming on the show and talking with us about Ninite. This, for me personally, I've talked about this earlier, and Ninite has saved my life on many occasions because many times working for school districts and things like that, I've had to format computers completely and then go back on and install software one by one, and it's maddening. So I would start creating, scripts. I would write a script to install one program automatically and then another one silently and then automatically, and it got old real fast. And,
Yeah.
And I don't know, John was asking me how I found Ninite, and I cannot remember for the life of me how I found it. But I'm just glad I did, because now I have one package for pretty much any computer I want, and when I format it, I just put that package on there and run it, and away it goes. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. So, what benefits would you say does Ninite offer to a home user? Because I'm a professional.
So setting up a new computer is much easier. That's actually the original use case, or why we made Ninite. Just to make it very easy to sort of get going, and like you described, just get a bunch of common apps installed on a PC very quickly. But also, the other big use case for it is once you have that installer once from us, you can just run it again in the future, and we'll update anything that's out of date.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Sorry, we're not good at at describing all of this or stuff on there. But so you can just run it again and keep things up to date, and that's actually the more important and sort of nicer quality to it. You can stay up on top of all the security updates and things, and just run that exe really every now and then.
Wow, I did not know that. I'm actually really happy to hear that, because I have the installer at work, and I've gone maybe twice now, and I've gone on there and I've downloaded the same installer again, thinking I had to do updates, but wow, that's awesome.
Oh, okay.
That's
nope.
good.
Yeah, you can use a Firefox installer from 3 years ago from our site, and it'll install whatever today's version is.
That's incredible. Wow.
And what benefit does the professional setting of Ninite offer?
So with the Pro version, we've had a number of more advanced users ask us for extra features and extra things. One of the big ones there is a silent switch, so you can put Ninite in scripts or have other programs sort of run it for you. We also have a network mode, which is very nice. You can sort of just open it up and you see all of your computers listed there, and all the applications, and you can deploy applications or update them across your whole network with just a few clicks. Another feature people really like in the Pro version is it can turn off those annoying little like update available notifications from different applications. And this is a surprising thing for us to hear about, but I guess a lot of corporate IT environments, the users don't have permission to update those applications even.
Right.
They just get help desk calls and a lot of confusion from seeing those pop-ups for everything. So we're able to turn those off as you switch over to using Ninite to manage those updates.
Wow.
And
that's nice too, because see, in my line of work as a network technician and administrator, I actually get those tickets all the time. Oh, this just popped up on my screen. Should I hit OK or whatever? And we don't give them the access to do that. And so I have to go down to their office and I have to just install Java, which comes out every day, it seems like.
Yeah.
You know, so I get a ticket all the time of this one came up. Can I install that? Can I install this? And then I have to go and do that for them, which it's not a lot of time, but that little bit of time takes away from what projects I'm working on overall. So being able to manage that separately is amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so basically just making it dead simple to manage and track all these updates on all your computers.
Wow. So now, how long did it take to complete Is it Ninite or Ninite?
Oh, I say Ninite.
Okay.
We're fine with either way.
Okay. I just made it up. So.
Yeah, I think that's the more popular pronunciation actually. But I say Ninite because of the way we came up with the name.
Oh.
We wrote a script to look for available.com domains. And the way we were making up words to test with it are 3-letter prefixes and suffixes out of a dictionary. So, you know, I see it break right in the middle with the 3 and 3 there.
Right.
But most people say Ninite.
Interesting.
Like that, yeah.
I didn't know how they came up. That's cool. So, yeah, I mean, how long do you think it took you to complete this from start to finish?
Well, it's ongoing. There's not really a completion. When we first came up with the idea, we had our beta version ready to go in 3 weeks.
Wow, 3 weeks, really?
Yeah,
That's
and
impressive.
well, it was much less polished, maybe, or not as many apps on there at that point. I don't even remember how many we first launched with in the beta and everything, but yeah, and then slowly building up from there, and we've been doing this for probably coming up on just about 4 years this fall.
Really?
Oh. So yeah,
I'm actually upset that it's taken me this long to find this, and I've also been a member of Spiceworks too, which you guys have been a member.
Oh,
of.
okay.
And
yeah,
I didn't know that until 2 weeks ago, and I found you on Spiceworks, and it just drives me nuts. I've been on Spiceworks since 2008, so yeah, that's weird.
Okay, yeah, we just got on Spiceworks sort of recently, but yeah, we're sort of getting the word out about Ninite is definitely something that we're not great at. We've had some partnerships with Lifehacker. We do their Lifehacker packs. We have a page where you can kind of install all of those at once. We come up on Reddit every now and then. That Reddit will throw a huge amount of traffic around.
Reddit definitely does. And the other good thing with you guys is the word of mouth, because you have a product that is incredible. It takes everybody, anyone in IT can vouch for it, and that's saying something.
Yeah. I think that's mainly how we've grown. I think because as far as figuring out outreach through other means, we just haven't. But we've been lucky that we don't have to. We haven't had to do that, but we probably should figure that out at some point.
And had you any problems along the way, just through the design phase or through any of the beta testing or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, mostly just trying to figure out how it should work and how to best stay on top of these things. Sometimes there'll be weird things where installers sort of change, and we have to go back in and look at how we automate them or come up with other extra tricks or things to sort of make them act nicely. But not really any. No catastrophes or anything. That's just a sort of ongoing little things coming up all the time.
Typical hiccups in technology.
Yeah.
Now, how do you pick what software gets onto the install list for Ninite?
So we just take suggestions from users, and there's a little form at the very bottom left of our page. Of our homepage, and people can type in programs they're interested in seeing, and then we have a place where we can look at those and sort of tally them up and see what people are interested in, and we'll add the most popular things on that if they look good. But we aren't we aren't really looking to expand the catalog quickly. We've sort of got a lot of the core stuff on there now.
Mm-hmm. You do,
Yeah.
And actually, I do have another question here, and a listener actually is asking this too: is will Adobe Flash ever appear back on the main program selection page? I thought I saw it there last week, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, they asked us to take that down, and we don't have any more updates or
Adobe
news on
did?
that. Yeah,
That sounds like Adobe.
And just going back to what you're saying about the website, do you have much traffic going on a daily basis, or?
Yeah, we do about I think it's like 2 million uniques a month now, and
Wow.
That works out to like 100,000 visits or something on weekdays.
That's crazy.
It's sort of exceeded our any sort of expectations we had for it, or what kind of growth it would see, and it's really crazy how there's still, we still keep hearing from people just like you were saying, like, oh, I can't believe I hadn't seen this yet, or found out about it. So
yeah, I mean, I try and stay up on as much as I can in the tech world because it makes my job easier, and this one I'm actually kind of mad at my friends for not finding this and telling me about it. So now I get to actually tell my friends about it and say, hey, look what I found. So
they probably already know, Justin.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most of them probably already knew, and we're just holding it back.
We just didn't tell you, Justin. That's all it was.
That's all it is. So would you consider then, Patrick, the Ninite as a success, a project in transit, or just a hobby?
It's a successful, ongoing business. This is what Sasha and I do. We have a very healthy number of pro subscribers on there, and it's growing well, and we think it's great.
That's good.
And have you any other projects that you're currently part of or planning to be part of?
No, not really. This is what we do, it takes a lot of attention to make sure everything stays up and running on the servers, to keep track of new updates as they come out and update the catalog, to figuring out new features to build. We do all the support and talking to users and everything ourselves. So it definitely fills up any time you want to a lot to it. There's always more stuff to do.
Yeah,
definitely full time. Now, and was this product created intentionally to build up business, or was it just a good idea that became popular and then turned into a business?
So Sasha and I we met at Y Combinator. It's a early seed stage funding thing in Mountain View, and we were working on we started a company. We were working on something else. We were doing Windows sandboxing software, and it wasn't really going well. We couldn't really get there were some technological problems. There were some problems with just the concept of what we were doing, and it was pretty clear. One day we sort of looked at what we had built and how we were doing with that, and realized it was not going to work. We were going to be running out of money soon with this company.
Right.
So we decided we had to try something else, and came up with this idea for Ninite, because Windows 7 was going to be released in a few months, and we thought there would be some people a bunch of people have to set up new computers, so we can maybe find something useful and easy to describe, something that would do a pretty clear and simple job for people. And I came up with that, and just immediately, I think during our couple of weeks of the beta or something, we got 10,000 people signing up for it or something. And this is, I think the old thing we were doing, maybe 100 people sign up to play with it. In the whole year we had tried promoting it, and so immediately it sort of showed much more promise, and it's really sort of taking off, and then that was in like October or so, and then by January we had figured out PC techs and PC shops initially were the market for Ninite Pro, just setting up new computers, build them and sell them. We started selling it January 1st of 2010, I guess.
Oh, wow.
And I got our first, I think our first subscriber was a mistake. Some like at AOL email address, someone who I think just got confused on the site. But
that's funny. But hey, you kept them, because then once they got it, they're like, "Oh, I'll use it. That's fine."
Yeah.
That's so funny. Now, what would you consider your greatest success in life besides Ninite?
I don't know.
I would say Ninite's it's on its way up there as a pretty successful thing. Yeah,
I like that. That's what I spend pretty much all my time with these days. So
yeah, mine is. I think once I learned to ride a bike, I was pretty happy. So.
And have you always had kind of the entrepreneurial spirit? Did you have kind of when you were a kid? Did you have kind of lemonade stands and things like that when you were younger? Or is it just something that's developed as you became, as an adult or whatever?
Yeah, I don't have. I mean, I think pretty much all kids do that sort of lemonade stand stuff, but I didn't have anything more ambitious than that until deciding to start this company with Sasha, and then we had our false starts there, and then finally got on the right track with this.
Oh, good. Here's another listener question that came in the chat that's really good. They ask if you would consider selling your product or company to a bigger entity, or is this something that you'd love to do and will keep to yourself forever? Like, would you sell out to somebody if Google came to you and said, "Hey, we want to buy this for," and I'm going to give the regular number I always give, $500 million. Would you sell it?
They could have Ninite for $500 million.
Finally, somebody honest. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we're not actively looking to get acquired, and we're very happy. We're very happy just running it, and honestly, I don't know what the odds of an acquisition or something like that. We're not in a very sexy or exciting market doing software updating for Windows here. But yeah, I mean, it's we're very happy running it, and it's it's running at a rate and growing at a rate that will we don't have to worry about having to raise more money for it or sell it, or it's self-sustaining. It's up and running now, and
I would
very
consider
solid.
that. I would definitely consider that successful then. Absolutely, if it's self-sustaining like that. Now, I was just thinking, it popped in my head that since Windows 8 came out, that we've been trying where I work, and everyone I know has been using Windows 8 and not downgrading, but making it look like Windows 7. And therefore, they've been installing all these, they've been installing Chrome and Firefox and all that stuff. And this is a, perfect market for that, for people to use.
Yeah, we even have a start button that we have a modified classic shell.
That's yours?
To make a very... No, classic shell isn't ours, but we've customized an installation of it to just put a start button on there. So we have that classic start on Ninite, and that's pretty popular. People like that.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't even know that. I'm learning so much today. That's great.
Okay, yeah, we really need to do a better job explaining this stuff on our website and stuff.
I just haven't dug in. I need to dig in a little bit deeper, but
yeah,
you can blame me for being dumb.
Oh no,
that's fine.
No,
I think it's more
any communication problem is on our end.
I think it's more of a case that Windows should just stop Windows 8.
Yes, I think we always have to rant about Windows 8 on the show.
Yeah, we don't like Windows 8 here.
No.
But it keeps people in business. It's straddling two worlds there.
Yeah. But What advice do you have for someone who has a business idea, but they don't know what to do with it?
I mean, you just have to like start. You have to put something out there,
and you got to let it fail. Probably, it's something. You just have to do it.
Yeah. Well, the trick is you have to get people, using something and then talk to them. And that's pretty much it. Because then we had no idea what Ninite should be or how it should look or what it should do, and we were able to get that initial core of people just by making a pretty good stab at something and being like, oh well, people need to set up computers. It's a pain clicking next and all these installers. And then we just started talking to people, and it turns out, I work in a computer shop and I want these downloads to be cached, and that's something we could charge them for, and just sort of going from there. So yeah, I mean, you can't, whatever you just try to like think up or plan is going to be changed quite a bit once it gets out there and actually starts interacting with real people. So you just need to get to that point as quick as possible, and then people will tell you what they want, and you can do it.
Yeah, that's good. Those are really helpful words for people, because we have a lot of people asking us. We have a lot of entrepreneurs on the show, and they want to know, what happens when I have an idea and things like that. So that was well put, very well put.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's next for Ninite? Are you inventing a time machine or teleportation or anything?
You have any of that going on? Because if you do, I'm first in line for the beta.
Nothing that exciting and big. Just improving the product. We've got some new features, making sure apps are up to date, and just sort of going on the same track.
Yeah, just keep it running properly.
Yeah.
It seems like it sounds strange, but some people seem to forget that you have to keep things running, like Microsoft Windows. I'll go back to them. They think they're just on top of the world, and then they forget that you still have to make a good product.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's actually really, really good that you're planning on continuing to work on it, and it's nice to hear that you're comfortable and satisfied with just working with that. Because so many people come on here and they say, I'm working on this, and I got 10 other things going, and they don't focus on one thing and get it done properly. Yeah,
and I think that's that focus there is really really key, because it's so easy. It would be so easy for something like this to sort of start degrading a bit, or if some of the installers were having trouble or things like that. And you just have to keep up on it constantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the fact that you have one product as well, you you have a singular focus on that. So
that definitely helps a lot.
Yeah.
Now, what does the Ninite Pro cost? I haven't looked into that yet.
So right now we start for up to 100 machines for $20 a month.
Oh, that's cheap.
Mm.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I think we may be changing around some of those plans in the future, because it is very, very cheap. But
that's good. So that's good to know. Now everybody knows. You can go and sign up. Now for everybody that doesn't know, it's simple. It's Ninite or Ninite.com, Ninite.com. And you can just use it for free if you just want to use it on your personal machine. And then if you want, you can sign up and use it on a network or in a professional setting. So, and it's Windows-based or Linux-based, which is great. They have the most of the market still.
Yeah, and they seem to have the sort of biggest problems with sort of software updating or security issues around that.
They sure do. Certainly do. Windows 8. Keep going back to that. But yeah, I definitely want to thank you again for being on the show, Patrick. I want to thank you for the product, because it is seriously has saved me so much time.
Glad to hear it.
And
you're welcome.
It's one of those that I wish I could just tell every single person I see everywhere about it, because it works perfectly for me every time.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah. And I mean, if I'm in the grocery store, it might be a little weird if I'm shopping for oranges and I'm like, have you heard of Ninite? But I don't have any shame. I'll do it anyway.
Thank you.
But no, I do appreciate you coming on the show and talking with us here on Spreaker.com and IndianaTalks.com. But maybe we'll have you back on the show someday once you get the time machine up and going.
That might be a while. But yeah, thanks for having me. This has been great.
Yeah, not a problem at all. John, you got anything else for him?
No, I think I'm happy enough. Just big thanks. It's a good program.
Yes, absolutely. I
Glad to
appreciate
hear
it. Yeah, and I'll be talking to you soon after the show if you stick around, and we'll go to a quick music break here, and we'll come back and talk to you about some more tech news. So we'll be back here on Live Speak Radio.
Maybe it's a thundercloud passing by. It's heavy like an undertow in my mind. It's a flood down below, young blood running high. Baby, I've been here before, like the weather pines. I've got you, but I still want more of the other side. And I come to you somewhere in the night, young blood running high. If I hold you now, and if I hold you closer, stay awake, baby, let the light continue. I'll always try, I'll always try to love you more. To love you more. Losing sight, go scan the radio tonight, looking for the new song, stars up high shine, fading our lives. If I hold you now, and if I hold you closer, stay awake, baby, let the light continue. I'll always try, I'll always try, I'll always try. I can only try to love you more than the young blood, to love you more than the young blood.
You're listening to Live Speak Radio with Justin and Alan.
Justin and Alan.
Follow Live Speak Radio on Spreaker, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and more. And tune in every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time for the latest tech news, advice, projects of the day, and outrageous stories that will make you say, "What the?" Now heard on Spreaker.com and IndianaTalk.com. Always read and follow label directions. Now back to the show.
Welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak Radio. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Patrick Swieskowski. I did. That was a fun interview. Did you enjoy that, John?
Yeah, he's quite a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. Super talented. Really fun to talk to. But yeah, that's amazing product. But we actually, I say we move on to some WTF news, because we have some really fun ones. And of course, I'm going to blame John for this. But he picked out some of these WTF news. He likes to see me struggle with Russian names. So he picked out a story about a Russian man. And I'll go ahead and start with that one. Because this is a Russian man who was actually arrested for stealing an entire road. And I'll repeat that. He's arrested for stealing an entire road. This 40-year-old faces a prison sentence after dismantling a road and being caught driving away with the pieces by the police. He's arrested after stealing a complete stretch of road in a remote area of Russia. He stole 82 reinforced concrete slabs that formed the route between the village of Parcheg in the Republic of Komi to the Vychegda River. Now, yeah, John's laughing at that because I was having a hard time during the break trying to say that word. Vychegda. It's fun for me to mess with these words, and it's even funner for John, I think.
It makes my week looking for these stories.
It's going to become a weekly segment just to see how hard I struggle on these things. I'm not a dumb person, but I cannot do these names. But it's thought that this guy used an industrial manipulator, which is a machine. If you don't know, it's both a bulldozer and a forklift, and that he used that to dismantle these slabs. And the pieces of the road were then loaded onto 3 trucks, which were later intercepted by police. Now, what makes me wonder in this is he's using this bulldozer / forklift thing, and nobody sees him ripping up a road. You know what I mean? I know they said it's a remote area, but to get 82 slabs, you had to have been out there for hours.
Yeah, he must have been mistaken for a local council worker.
Had to have been, because I just can't
maybe
believe
it's
it.
like Ireland over here, that if you rip up the road, you could actually end up improving it.
Maybe he was just sick of the potholes or something and wrecking his car.
Yeah.
Now they said that the stolen slabs were worth about over there 200,000 rubles, which is about $6,200 American, according to Russia's Interior Ministry, and that always makes me wonder: is there's a price on these $6,200 per. Or for all the slabs, but where would you sell these? It's not like you can go to Radio Shack or to a Best Buy or a Costco and say I got slabs of road. There's no black market for road, I don't think.
Maybe they were for personal use.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's building a big driveway. I don't know.
Yeah. Basketball court.
A big basketball court. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of work. And this guy's the suspect's 40-year-old resident of Syktyvkar. Did I say that one right? Syktyvkar? I don't know. Syktyvkar. It's the capital city of the Northern Republic. And he's said to have admitted his guilt and now faces up to 2 years in prison. There have been a spate. Does that say spate?
Spate? Yeah.
It sure does. Of infrastructure robberies in Russia in recent times, of course. In June, another man actually is reported to have dismantled a bridge over the Nazma River in the village of Frolovo with a welding torch. I guess that's just, they want to just take stuff down over there. Unbelievable. But, oh my gosh. On that occasion, a trail of tractor trucks led police, or tractors' tracks led the police to the culprit's home. He also faces possible 2 years in jail term. So the guy used tractors and then led the police right to his house with the giant tractor tracks. So they're not smart. I guess if you steal a bridge or steal a road, you're going to get caught.
How did it get across the bridge if he had taken it away?
I don't know. Oh, only you. Oh, wow. Wow. I never would have thought of that. That's hilarious. Hopefully he was on one side where his house was, or he would have been really funny if he would have taken it down and realized, oh, man, my house is over there.
Special river police or something.
Oh, man. That's awesome. So that's the man that tried to steal the road and steal a bridge. Wow. Russia. That's a fun place to live.
Yeah. You couldn't make it up.
No.
I think the next one is funny. The shark found in the subway car.
Yeah, I had to do a double take when I saw the headline.
The photograph is quite funny too. I don't know if anybody has seen it.
I haven't seen the photograph yet because I actually, I was looking at this on my smartphone and I didn't get the link for it. But, yeah, wow, a shark in a subway.
Yeah, New York City Transit Authority says a conductor found a small dead shark aboard a subway train in Queens on Wednesday. The conductor asked passengers to leave the car and closed it off. And the train continued to the end of the line, and then a supervisor placed the shark in a garbage bag and put it in the trash. Apparently some guy had posed the shark and put it up on a blog, and the shark had a cigarette in his mouth. He was taking various poses, one with a cigarette in his mouth and another one with an energy drink, and even had a fare card.
I guess the shark was there just hanging out, smoking, drinking Red Bull.
Absolutely. So if somebody's watching too much Sharknado, I think.
I think so. Or they got a little carried away with Shark Week on Discovery Channel.
Possibly, yeah. And I think that was one of the reasons, because it actually said in the story that the transit officials said that they were aware of the photographs, but are making no effort to find the person who posted them. The authorities said that they have better things to do. So I suppose they don't. I can imagine what's going to turn up now on the subways next week.
If you're not going to put a consequence to that or stop people from doing that, you're going to have some funny things on your subway. And you can't blame people.
That's probably why they're just not going to do anything about it, because if they react to it, people will see that they're getting a rise from it. So
yeah, they'll probably get more attention, and then they put more stuff up there, and wow.
Exactly.
I guess I would kind of freak out if I went onto my subway and saw a shark there. They said it was about 4 feet long, right? It wasn't like a giant great white or anything, so it was a little baby shark, but still.
A little small. It looked like a little small lemon shark or something.
Oh, yeah, but still, sharks.
I'd be more afraid of meeting a banker.
or a lawyer, yeah, you know, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're much more vicious.
Oh, wow. I have this third story that I read, and this one is, I love this story. This is great. There's the story of the unwitting students who moved into an ex-massage parlor / escort agency's house. These two students got more than they bargained for after discovering the house they moved into was previously a massage parlor and escort agency. Brighton University students Ben Miller and Rebecca Sims have been turning away members of the public eager to visit the parlor, and have even been forced to put a sign in the window to dissuade the parlor's previous clientele. So people are still showing up at their place, knocking on their door, like asking for their escort or their massage. That would be really bad. I think I'd move, but these people stayed in it. And they said, quote, "We had no idea that the house had been a brothel. Our agent, Pavilion Properties, never warned us. When we had looked around, we thought it was great, really colorful and interesting. It was only after we'd moved our stuff in that we realized something was wrong." Now, here's what they found, and this is great. That the unfortunate duo found a secret windowless basement crammed full of, quote, "strange velvety costumes and sex toys and high heels." The massage parlor, Brighton Bells, which is listed in the Sun's business directory, describes itself as having, quote, "the best escorts Brighton has to offer," and urges punters to come visit us for a relaxed personal massage with one of the beautiful girls. Its website features scores of semi-naked women in provocative poses. The student tenants say they now feel afraid to open the door. They say, quote, "One of our friends was even punched in the face because the guy threw... We're trying to keep all the ladies for ourselves." They said they were trying to keep all the ladies, so they got punched in the face. That's a serious client right there. Wow. Now, a spokesman for the Pavilion Property said the staff were not aware of the former tenant's raunchy activities. I don't believe that. No. Quote, "We have had a number of complaints from the tenants, and we are doing everything we can to help them out." they said. But obviously they're still being bothered by people, and they're still living there. And how does the property management not know about that? Come on.
Surely to God it's on the plans for the house.
Yeah.
A secret windowless basement.
And don't you have inspectors that go in and look at things and, you know?
Yeah.
Come on.
You would think.
Don't lie to me.
Maybe they were all customers.
Wow. They might have been, now that I think of it. Oh, man. Well, I was going to go into a commercial break, but instead, since we're not on IndianaTalks.com anymore, we're only on Spreaker.com, I think we should just move right into the Kickstarters.
Yeah, cool.
How does that sound? We got 3 good Kickstarters for you this week, and then we have 1 really terrible Kickstarter for you. And so we'll start with the first Kickstarter here, and this is a good one. It's HibJib. It's they say it's unchaining your camera, and it's a pocketable supplement for super smooth video camera handling, which converts standard tripods into a mobile jib arm with stunning results. The HibJib idea is strikingly simple and will open cameramen and women completely to new shooting dimensions. With the size of just 2 fists, HibJib enables beautifully steady camera movements and mobile camera stability, and it instantly creates the comforting feeling of solid support and freedom of movement. So this looks like it's just a camera attachment for like a jib arm, a little tiny jib arm.
Yeah, it's like a belt. If you see the video for it, it's a belt that has like a long cylindrical thing at the front that has 2 holes in it that the feet of your tripod fit into, and then you can use the swing arm on your camera's tripod to lift it up and down, and it actually rotates, so it moves quite freely.
So now they have some things like this. Where you have to buy a special attachment for your camera that hooks onto a belt. So this is actually pretty nice because you can just take your regular tripod that you already paid for, and then just buy this the HibJib and hook your regular tripod right into it.
Yeah.
And then there you go. You got a very solid jib arm to control your camera and walk around with it.
Yeah, and it's so simple. It's such a simple idea. Like, when you actually see it, you think, why didn't I think of that?
Those are the ones that make the money, I tell you. The ones that you think that I could have made or should have been made a while ago, absolutely, they'll make a ton of money. And these ones, they're asking for $20,000, and it just started, and they've made about $4,000, well, a little shy of $4,000, and they have 50 days to go. So I think they'll make it, and then some. Photography is such a huge thing, and people want to get into photography but can't afford some of the bigger things. So being able to just buy this attachment here and put your tripod in it, I mean, that's going to sell like crazy.
Well, I'd probably use it myself, when I'm doing kind of client videos and stuff like that. So I'm even thinking that I might jump on board this one. Yeah,
I think I would. That would be a good one. You don't have to invest a lot.
No, but I'd definitely buy it if it came out, because the alternatives are quite expensive.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like that one. So again, all these links will be in the show notes afterwards. You can check out the Kickstarters here, and if you feel like you need to invest in something, this is a good one to invest in. I like it. It's a multi-directional camera movements it supports, and they say it's just really, really smooth. It'll support every kind of smooth movement you can think of, and like Jason says in the chat here, it looks like it could be a little top heavy, but it looks like you use the third leg and put that third leg and push it down on your leg, literally. So it pushes down and it won't fall forward. So
you're using it as a brace,
right?
Yeah.
So why not? And compared to the other stuff that you literally have to pay a lot of money for that special attachment, this would be great.
And you don't have to put on a full body suit.
No, exactly. So there you go. That's a good one for you, the HibJib, unchaining your camera. What else have we got, John?
We've got the Castle Clear 3D full-size Delta 3D printer.
Ooh, yeah.
These people, I watched the video on it now, and it's pretty cool, I have to say. What it is, it's an easy-to-assemble, functional yet aesthetic, cost-effective Delta 3D printer for 3D printer fans. They say, we are Blue Eagle Labs, and we're huge fans of 3D printers. For the past 6 months, we've been working on a rendition of the Delta printer, the Castle Clear. Castle Clear will be a popular, viable, and mainstream Delta printer alternative for 3D printer fans. We've designed our printer with the first-time builder in mind. Blue Eagle Labs will be here to support you as you begin your 3D journey. But basically, what they're offering is it's kind of a taller 3D printer than most conventional printers, and it's saying it has 3-stepper motors to control the kinetically linked effector for movements in X, Y, Z axis. So you've got a huge range of movement on them. And, speaking about it doesn't really do it a lot of justice.
No, it doesn't.
You actually visit, you have to watch the video to kind of understand the concept behind it. But what they're offering is the complete build documentation for the first-time builder. Making your own 3D printer might seem like a daunting task due to the vast amount of information that needs to be gathered. We have corralled and condensed the entire build instruction into an easy-to-understand and easy-to-follow HD videos, which will be posted on our website and YouTube channel as soon as we get funded. We'll also include standard build photo documentation in each cost of clear unit. So, and what their goal is 10,000. It was started on the 30th of July and it's due to end on the 29th of August. So there's 17 days to go, and they have 178 backers. Their goal is $10,000, and they've already received pledges of 121,000.
Yeah, this
so they've
3D
reached
printing is huge, but this is different. This is like a do-it-yourself 3D printer.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be...
That's what I'm saying. You need to watch. You need to watch the video to see exactly what it is. Because, as I said, reading out, you can read out all these different stats about it, but you need to watch it to see. I think you've put the link in the...
Yeah, the link's in the chat right now, and then we'll put it, of course, in the show notes afterwards, and you can go, and we'll label these so you can see it too. This is the Delta 3D printer. Wow.
That's already funded. That's more than reached its goal at this stage. 10 times over.
Unbelievable. That's a cool one. 3D printing is getting so popular, so basically any 3D printer, if you invest in it now, you're going to get a return on it. I mean, everybody wants it. There's so many things you can do with 3D printers now. It's unbelievable.
And I think Alan is a big fan of them too. I think isn't some of Alan's friends do some artistic work using.
He's got a buddy that has a little 3D printer and uses it for sculpting type things. And if you can get a 3D printer, and you can make pretty much anything. I mean, you can make your own remote control. You can make your own cell phone covers. You can make, anything.
They had one in Jurassic Park 3, didn't they?
I don't remember. Did they?
They did. They made the Raptor voice call thing out of it.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. They did. That was a different kind of 3D printer, though. That was like subtractive. They had the big block of whatever it was, and they actually milled it out with a thing.
Yeah.
But same deal. Same idea. They can make different duck calls and things with these 3D printers. And, so that's really
So they
cool.
were ahead of their time, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, now the third one that we have, the good one, and it sounds strange, it's called a Fitbark, and I love reading this one because it's the world's tiniest wireless activity tracker for your dog, and it sounds weird, but it's one that is, dogs and pet products sell like crazy, and it's really small, but the Fitbark helps you stay connected with your dog and get insights into his or her life, so you'll know when to take action. As dog lovers, we always wonder if we're doing our best to keep our dogs healthy and happy. Over and over we hear that exercise is crucial and for their physical and mental well-being, of course, yet there's a black hole in the way we track their activity throughout the day. Like we can take them for a walk and say, I went for 2 walks, but what did that actually do for your dog?
Exactly,
Is it actually helping them or not? Or, would it be better to go on an uphill walk or a downhill walk? Or the Fitbark combines our love for dogs, the tech, and beautiful design into a product that helps humans better understand dogs and give them back the joy that they provide us with. I mean, with Fitbark, you can stay connected and get valuable insights into the life of your dog that you'll know when to take action, and you'll be able to prevent certain things. You can take them, if they're getting sick or if they're out of shape or what you need to do. And this is a really great little invention. And
it's like a pedometer for dogs, really, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. And as this technology grows, there will be more things that, obviously it'll hook into your phone. You can have the app that'll track what your dog's beats per minute are and, things like that, heartbeat, steps. And eventually it'll get really, really complex, and you'll be able to tell all kinds of stuff about their nutrition and whatnot. So this is kind of a starting platform for that. But, yeah, this one, it's a small little thing. It hooks right on their leash, or on their collar, I'm sorry. It goes right around their neck, and it lets you know what's going on with your dog. And they wanted $35,000 for this one. And it started on July 25th. It ends on the 26th of this month, which is only 14 more days. Actually, from now, it's, 15 days. And they have 589 backers. Like I said, dog or pet products are huge.
Yeah.
And they wanted 35,000. They've already gotten 65,000. So they've almost doubled what they need, and they still have 14 days or 15 days to go. So this would be a really good one to either, just invest in it early and then get one when it comes out. So for $59, you can get one of these devices. You can invest early and get it. Be one of the first people to ever get it, plus the app that goes with it, of course, for your smartphone, and try it out. Because the price is going to go up after that.
And I'm sure with the funding they've got so far, they can probably expand on the offers or on the services that's on it as it is. Mm-hmm. Because, as I said, they're only looking for 35,000. They've already almost doubled that, and they still have 2 weeks to go.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and they, everybody, they've been featured on everyone, Mashable, TechCrunch, Engadget. So it's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be pretty popular.
Yeah. That's a good one, too. It's just endless with these Kickstarter things, but we like to bring you 3 that are really good that we think you could invest in and get a return on. Now, I could go to Kickstarter and say, invest in all of them, but I don't know if I could really say that you'll make anything back on it. And certain ones, the ones that we pick out, we think you would make some money back on or make something out of it. And it's just
plus, if you're not a dog lover, this mightn't appeal to you either. So
yeah, exactly. So those are our 3, and those are actually some pretty good little Kickstarters. Now, did we find a bad one this week? Did you find a?
Oh boy, did we find a bad one!
What'd you find for me?
Mama Bear's barbecue mobile kitchen. Mama needs a new kitchen.
Oh no!
Yeah, this is basically sounds exactly what it is. Mama Bear's Barbecue is rebuilding our mobile kitchen to serve our mostly organic food creations and barbecues to our neighbours far and wide. Our kitchen will be pushing 30 feet long and look like a log cabin. To buy a manufactured kitchen would cost $85,000. So we will custom like our own kitchen shown here. So if you look on the Kickstarter link, it's just worth going on it alone. It's a shed on a trailer is all it is.
It's terrible.
Also, if funded high enough, we will be able to replace our pull vehicle to help us get there and back safely. Our old pull vehicle is a 1999 F250 with over 300,000 miles and has seen better days, so a new pull vehicle would be greatly appreciated. If not, that's okay, because the old girl still has a lot of life in her.
And what are they asking for this?
I'm thinking what they want is they just want a new car.
Yes. Absolutely, they just want a new car.
But this is only released the day before yesterday, August 9th, and it's funding period to October the 8th, so you have 60 days. And you still have 57 days to get on board this, so. And they've one backer so far, and they're looking for $35,000. That must be the cost of a new F-250, is it?
New cars are like $60,000.
Wow.
So, I don't know. But I think they just want a newer car.
All right. Okay. Well, they're going to need something better, because I'd say the 30-foot log cabin is probably pulling the guts out of the one they have.
Yeah.
So far, they've got $101. So they're a long way off their goal. And something tells me they're not going to move much beyond it.
I don't think they're going to make it.
No, I don't think so.
Go buy your own vehicle.
But it's worth just following the link and just looking at the Kickstarter just to see the picture.
Oh man, and I'm going to look at this. I think we should start following some of these bad ones too and see how much traction they really get.
I'm going to keep an eye on this one anyway, definitely, because as soon as I saw it, I thought to myself, how did this get past scrutiny? Like, surely there has to be some kind of standard that you have to meet.
There's got to be.
To get on Kickstarter.
Yeah, and I'd like to start a Kickstarter project just to see what you have to do, because some of these, I don't know how they get on there.
Obviously, they don't have a minimum standard or a minimum requirement. I don't know. I'm going to rack my brains during the week and see if I can get featured on the bad Kickstarter for next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me know what bad you come up with, and I'll put it on there. That's a good one. That's a really good bad Kickstarter, though.
Mama needs a new kitchen.
Mama needs a new kitchen and a new pickup. Right. That's bad. So that's our bad Kickstarter that when we don't recommend you investing in, but apparently my boss, Jason, wants to invest in my name, so by all means, it's not my money. I don't care. But that's it. That's going to do it for us today. John, I want to thank you again for co-hosting and filling in for Alan. I don't know when Alan's going to be back, so I think he'll be co-hosting again probably next week.
Cool. Happy to help.
Okay. So, everybody, don't forget to follow us on Spreaker.com. There's a follow button. You won't get any spam, I promise. It really doesn't send you anything except for when we go live. And you can also follow us on Twitter at LiveSpeakRadio. And stay tuned for some great guests coming up in the next few weeks. We'll be following Kickstarter projects, good Kickstarter projects, and speaking with the creators. Like one of them's Diane Huddock from the Gurunista Gale. It's really funny. It's a yoga instructor who is actually really kind of out there. She's hilarious. I'll have to put the link when we do that show. It's funny. And there's a couple other people we'll be following too on Kickstarter, but we'll also be speaking with an amazing makeup artist to the stars. This is a makeup artist who has worked with many different Hollywood actors, TV, movies, and beauty makeup, you name it. He's very, very well known in the makeup industry and very successful. That's why we're going to showcase him. His name's Kevin James Bennett. I've spoke with him personally. He's agreed to be on the show, so that'll be a fun one. And we'll keep you posted on the show dates that coming up, when those are going to happen. I'm still working out the logistics with all those, all our guests, but some really great shows coming up in the next month. So make sure and follow us on Spreaker so you know what's going to happen. Again, John, thank you for being here. I'm sure we'll see you next week. Release your inner geek. Listen to Live Speak. We'll see if John will stay with us next week. I may have driving him away, but I think he'll stick around.
I'm still here.
Okay. All right, good. So, yeah, John, I'll talk to you later. And everybody else that's listening, thank you for listening, and thank you for chatting with us here on Live Speak Radio. I'm Justin the Geek. We will see you next week.
Thank you for listening to Live Speak Radio with hosts Justin Gilson and Alan Quant. Tune in next week to hear more amazing tech news,
Gadget reviews,
and interviews.
Don't be afraid to release your inner geek.
Listen to Live Speak.